Hi, Sagittarius! So I started to fall asleep a little bit on my awesome boo pillow. Speaking of boo pillows, I have to be like I'm doing the weather and learn everything opposite or weird. I told you guys in the other one to get creative. I keep getting these get creative and like maybe spontaneous or getting out of your dreams or getting more sleep so your dreams are better kind of messages for you. So I pulled out, instead of this weird fish that I had here, I thought you could. This is really weird because that's me. Alright. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, I did do a video where I did a paper mache breast plate armor thing and then painted it copper. I hope there's not people that take that weird. Get creative! Have fun with your creativity. Don't, apologize for it. Do what you want. If you want to make a paper mache breastplate of yourself, or perhaps you're afraid of intimacy and you don't know how to go about the moves, and maybe I just gave you an interesting move, guy or girl, it doesn't matter, married or new relationship. Just be comfortable with yourself. Maybe you need to get creative and think of things like this to do with somebody else and not by yourself like me. It'll come out way better if you have somebody else to do it with you anyway. Just lie down and have somebody put the paper mache on you. This could be a guy. You could do an awesome, He-Man, Thor, breast art project with paper mache. Get creative, Sagittarius! I was going to start that video by telling myself to snap myself out of it and wake up. But realizing that I just inserted that in the video totally did that for me. So let's continue. You have so many little scenarios going on in these two cards. I feel like I had to continue the videos. Alright, so this card was with this one. So the falling in love card is supporting or surrounding or the energy around, the Four of Cups, which is like luxury. I said this was a little bit, I think I mentioned something in your video about like a department store and the zombie movie in the mall. So, and then you get all these scenes in here, and this makes me think of an amusement park. It's like getting really excited about going to the amusement park and thinking it's the shit. And it's like all these scenarios going on at the same time in the amusement. Maybe these are reflection. These are all like little cups in the store of the gift shop. And these are little snapshots of the people going by and the things that are happening to them at the amusement park. So what do we have going on here in this little amusement park? There's the crying mermaid on the purple dragon. She has green hair. Oh, that's her thing. Yeah. It's like it swims extra. Even the mermaid dragon has an extra swimming fin. Looks like it could fly. The scene over here to her is like this beautiful landscape scene with the sunset and a lake and a field and some trees. A forest. And it looks like there's a blanket with some feet sticking out and two people getting it on under the blanket. I'm not sure if that's what it is. It looks like they're under the Indian blanket. That's what I see, and I'm going to go with that. This one has a weird mermaid with a baby face. It could be a boy or a girl. It's anything. It's a little kid, but she's drinking the wine, or he's drinking the wine. Maybe too young to drink the wine at the park. Maybe she lost her baby. She lost her mermaid baby, and she's crying about it. She doesn't know that he's on his own, drinking the wine, and then the teenage kid is here. He's rode that green dragon ride so many times, his clothes fell off, and he's still on it. Giving the high five, or the thumbs up, every single time he goes down the flume part and the camera comes. Like, it's exciting every time, and that kid is going to stay till the end. He's the one that you're going to have to save. The park is closed, honey. It's time to go home. You need to go to bed and go to sleep. Maybe you've been riding the amusement park ride a little bit too long, Sagittarius. Alright, so you have the kid giving the thumbs up over here, naked. You know, maybe that's a kid you know. Maybe you're riding your green dragon naked too long in the amusement park. And then you have this... Oh, she looked like a cherub before, but she looks a little sexier now that I see her again. It's like a sexy cherub angel blindfolded, and she's shooting at... So let's picture these are actual scenes, and there are things going on, and those just happen to be two separate reflections. The scene is all happening at the same time. Just there's a vase over here and a vase over here, so this reflection's catching this scene, and this is catching this, but those scenes are going on at the same time. So this sexy naked cherub lady, blindfolded and looking this way, she knows that she's doing this blindfolded. She's showing off a little bit. She's showing her skills off. She's like, oh yeah, watch what I can do blindfolded. Watch this shit. And she's like, and she's looking this way, and she's gonna shoot. So what is she shooting towards? Falling in love? Or has somebody shot you with that arrow? And now you're falling in love and you didn't expect it. And then what do we have here? This is what's going to be busted open by that arrow. It's a little girl or boy in some fancy knickers, standing on a stool, scared of a little spider and a little mouse. So she's on the stool, and she's screaming like a little pussy. I can demonstrate this. Pretend that this is the scary spider in the sky. And this is not a mouse. This is a flying squirrel, but it's a pretend mouse. And I got my stool. I said I had a stool. Ah! Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm so scared of falling in love. It's like a scary spider or a mouse. That's so scary. It's not really that scary, and they're not going to do anything, and they're not going to hurt you. You might end up to be like, you know, a Disney character, and they could be your best friends. You might like that little spider and the little mouse. They might have a lot to tell you. Or maybe they're just delicate and they're really not harmful at all, and that falling in love is awesome. And maybe you need to enjoy that moment and laugh at the girl on the stool. Maybe you're sitting down and you're like, she is so silly on that stool. And enjoy that moment. Enjoy the moment of falling in love. Don't be worried about the extra. Don't be worried, Sagittarius. Don't go into the worry part. Just be into the bee. You're the Sagittarius. You're willing to be the first to dive into it. Don't not being the willing to be the first to dive into falling in love. Maybe you fell in love in the past. Or, you know, this is a rekindling of a love, and in the past it turned out not to be what you thought it was. You know, you got bored at your amusement park, and it shut down, and you're ready to go home. So, I mean, look at the next one. What do we have here? Alright, so the obstacle is the Seven of Cups. You know, this crack of truth, or a little determined bugger of a rose that's piercing through your world. Now, what do we have in this card? It's such a weird version. 7 is a spiritual change. So it's a spiritual change in your emotion. You know, at the top here you have this bottle. It looks like it has like a Maker's Mark top, but it's, I don't know, there's like cheese in your bottle and just water. Someone told you it was alcohol. And you have like a hardened gourd or squash or vase or Russian doll that you chopped the top off and sat there, and maybe you smoked from the hookah and had a sip of your fake Maker's Mark water with the cheese in it, and it made you start to paint some weird stuff. You started to get creative, Sag. Good job. So you painted a scene of Grandma and Grandpa doing the farmer and farmer's wife pose next to each other, but you made them fancy. They're fancy Grandma and Grandpa in their clothes. They're not the farmers. Okay, and then you got two other cups here. You got the gold and the silver, feminine and masculine. And you're taking a balance, taking a little gold, a little silver, that's good. You know, and at least down here you have water and water. And it looks like you got some water. And even though you're drinking water out of a weird girl's head, it's like your own head. You're doing some being John Malkovich shit here with your crown. It's like a crown. Oh, it's like a tiara. It's like a tiara, but the tiara is really in hollow water. So it's really the emotional swimming of your pool. Actually, if you can see it, it looks like there's a tiny little sailboat inside there, just bobbing around on that nice, smooth surface of the sails of your mind, connecting to the emotion. No waves. You're good. So why are you sleeping here? What's going on? You're sleeping on some weird, like, fancy $8,000 department store chair that was supposed to be comfortable, and it was just fashionable. It's not really, it's a little comfortable, but you could have probably gone somewhere like, I don't know, another store down the street and found that chair for cheaper and cuter, or just built it yourself at that point. So why are you falling asleep in your pink nightie and purple slippers and your fancy blue pearls? You didn't even bring a pillow. So, Sagittarius, what are you doing here? You work? You're falling asleep shopping? You're falling asleep in your nightie? Why don't you go to bed? Why aren't you in bed? Maybe Sagittarius needs to sleep more. Maybe Sagittarius is working so much they're falling asleep at the job, falling asleep on the train. You're sitting in department stores in weird fancy chairs and just passing out. Maybe that's a big sign for you to get a little balance in your life. Maybe balance in your life will come when you let someone else in. Maybe that's your big obstacle. Reaching up and grabbing your rose. I mean, you got the Tower with the intimacy. So it looks like somehow in your life, intimacy is entering in. Whether you want it to or not, the universe is going to make that shit happen. Sometimes it's just meant to be. So, go with it. Don't look farther. Just do it slowly. Understand that the things that have been ripped out of your life need to go. And if you have the opportunity to be the one to be stronger, to take it out first, do it so it doesn't have to be ripped out of your life. But this is good. This is foundations that are grown out so you can build fresh, a fresh start. It looks like, you get a chance to fall in love. You're falling in love, and you have a chance for intimacy and opening up, and that's sensitive. You have to work with someone else and be aware that there's somebody else involved. Maybe you haven't been making the right decisions lately. You have all these illusions. You need to get rid of your hookah and your fake alcohol, and maybe paint more grandma and grandpas in there, and get your balance of the wine, and maybe not take so many naps on fancy chairs, but actually find a bed and sleep. Because if you're not sleeping and you're working so much, you're not making good decisions. And if you're working so much and you don't have intimacy or love at all in your life, and it's there available for you, and you're not taking the chance because you think that this is going to bring you something that you're going to get that later, and you're going to just figure that part out later, that's not going to happen. You're not seizing your opportunity to have probably, since this is surrounding you, what you really want. So stop dreaming about it or imagining it and make it real. I'm going to pull you an animal card and see what we get. All right. I know before I kept thinking of Scorpio for you, but I know it's Sagittarius, so maybe you need to think about the Scorpio penetration part. The ability to penetrate and that barrier of intimacy, and that's kind of what I was thinking. So Sagittarius is the zebra. Let go of your fear and know that you are safe and protected at all times. Dare to be different. Dare to wear your black and white stripes. Dare to allow others to see the colors they want in you and color in, because you see the world how you want. You're beautiful. You're unique. Love you.